To start, you're going to make a magic ring which you're going to work into to make your circle, like so. So you move your crochet hook up over the first one and then pull that second loop through, like so. Then you're just going to chain one, like so, and tighten it a bit to make sure you have stability. Then into this loop you're going to chain 2 and do 12 double crochets into the loop, tightening it as you go to make sure that it is firm and that there's no hole in the middle. So on the second row you're going to chain 2 again and then work into each of your previous double crochets, and you're just going to do 2 double crochets into each hole. So as you can see, you go in once through there and again through that same hole, and you're going to continue this all the way around into every single stitch. You want to make sure that at the end of each row that you're securing it with a slip stitch, not into the loop, but into the first double crochet that you made, to make sure that there is no gap. Now for the third row, you're going to start again by chaining 2, and then you want to do 1 double crochet into the first stitch, and then into the second you're going to do 2 double crochets. So you're going to follow the pattern of 1 2 1 2 into each stitch. And for this fourth row, you're gonna just do the exact same as the third and secure it with a slip stitch, and then on the fourth row you're gonna do that same alternation of 1 double crochet and then 2 double crochets into each of the stitches. Again, following the diagram, for your fifth row, you want to do 1 1 2 as your pattern. So you start by chaining 2, and then into your first stitch you're going to do 1 double crochet. Then in your second stitch you're also going to do 1 double crochet, and then in your third you're going to do 2 double crochets, as you can see, and you're going to continue this all the way around. bit where you think your circle or your base is large enough as you want it, you're going to simply finish with a slip stitch like usual, and then you're going to work upwards now. So you're going to do this by chaining 2, and then you want to work into the loop of the thing. As you can see here, you're not working into the back loops that you were previously, but you're working into the double crochet stitch that you did the row before. There should be 2 holes that you can see roughly that are quite small at the top of that double crochet that you work into, but you're not working into the edge of the circle, you are working up from the previous stitch, and you're going to do this all the way around, and you don't need to make any increases at any point. When and if you want to change colour, I changed after 3 rows of that same pattern. You're just going to do a slip stitch. You're going to put your yarn through, and then grab your other colour and kind of hook it through, pull it through both, and then you're going to chain 2 with that new colour, making sure that you're pulling tightly at the other strings. And then you're going to bring the strings up and over your work so they're on top of the stitches before, so that when you do your double crochet, you are crocheting in those colours to make sure that it's not visible. So you're crocheting your hook under both of the yarns until you get to about 4 or 5 stitches, and then you can cut it off. So when you get to the height that you want, you're going to start doing your floral trim. So you're going to do this. I'm doing it with a new colour, so I'm simply changing colour here. But then you're going to do your first row is simply just chaining 5 in your colour, whatever colour you would like. And then you're going to skip 4 stitches. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then do a single crochet into the 5th. You're going to repeat this all the way around. You'll notice that at the end you might have different lengths, so you might only have room to do chain 3 or chain 2 or whatever, but you need to kind of make it up depending on how much you have. But it's totally fine to chain 3 or to just do a couple of single crochets in order to finish your row, but you want to try and finish with a single crochet. So your next row, you're going to chain 5 again, and you're going to do a single crochet into that first loop that you made. Then into the next loop, you're going to do 8 double crochets into that loop. Then you're going to do a single crochet into the next loop, then you're going to chain 5 and do another single crochet into that next loop, then you're going to chain 5 again and a single crochet into the next loop, and then you're going to repeat this pattern and do 8 double crochets again. So you do 8 double crochets and then into the next loop, chain 5 into the next loop, and then 8 double crochets again. So here I'm just finishing that row off by chaining 5 again and doing a single crochet into where I started, like you can see here. So then for the third row, you're going to just do a single crochet into that first loop, and then working into your 8 double crochets, you're going to double crochet into each one and then chain 1. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, all the way through each of the 8 double crochets that you made the time before. Then, when you have finished, you're going to do a single crochet into that next loop, and then you're going to chain 5 again and do a single crochet into the next loop. Then you're going to repeat this pattern all the way through of that double crochet and chaining 1. I'm then getting to the end of the row by just doing a single crochet into the loop I made and chaining 5 and doing another single crochet in order to get back to that initial starting point. Then you want to do double crochets all the way around your loop. So you're going to go in each of the floral petals, you're going to do a double crochet into the stitch and a double crochet into the place where you already chained, so that gap there. And you're going to continue this all the way around each petal. So it should look something a bit like this. Then you're simply going to do a single crochet into that loop and you're going to repeat the process again. So finally, for the last row, I decided I wanted to change colour and do a new colour, but you can do the same colour or whatever you would like. So here I am just chaining the colour and making sure that it's all secure. So for this final row, you want to start by skipping 2 single crochets from where you start, so 1, 2, and then working into the third one. You want to do 6 double crochets into that third loop. You then want to secure this by skipping 1 crochet, 1 loop, and working a single crochet or a slip stitch into that next one. And you're going to repeat this pattern all the way around your piece. So skipping 2, working into the 3rd hole, doing 6 double crochets, then skipping 1 and doing a slip stitch to secure. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.